So are cortisol levels influencing dysautonomia, or is dysautonomia influencing cortisol levels? It's a really good question, but we have to kind of start with the basic ideas with cortisol because we always talk about it in terms of it being a stress hormone. And when you talk about it as being a stress hormone, you immediately think of cortisol like being activated as soon as you're in an unwanted scenario, whether that's stress, that's physical stress, emotional stress, chemical stress, etc., right? But that word stress should actually be converted into like energy mobilizing scenarios where it is any situation where I need to produce and use more energy. So cortisol's main job is to help you mobilize and maintain glucose or sugar regulations in the blood. It lets you do gluconeogenesis. It allows you to be able to basically take protein, fat, convert them into energy in the body kind of on demand, and then to also down regulate unnecessary utilization of glucose so that we can push it toward the brain, right? So that's the actual function of cortisol. So if we stop and think about that, if my cortisol levels are going up, it's saying I'm having a disproportionate amount of demand for glucose in my system. That could be because I'm doing more, I need more bandwidth, or I'm becoming less efficient and therefore using more glucose. Or it could be that the feedback loops that allow me to regulate it are not working as well, and we're kind of running the system hot, so we're overutilizing that system. Either way, in both of these cases, you can think about that feedback loop as being kind of the important part, where maybe the cortisol levels itself may not be the problem, but the way that that cortisol is being used within the system as a signaling molecule, whether that's from the brain, whether that's from systemic circulation, or we have glucose dysregulation problems. So that might be a more useful way to start to consider it, because then you think about, well, that kind of mimics what happens with my heart rate, right? So we're looking at tachycardia with normal blood pressure as the way where your body is increasing the output, increasing the cardiac activity to try to make up for a loss somewhere else. There's a high probability that the same body that's going to be cranking the heart rate up is also going to have to increase cortisol levels to try to boost the glucose to be able to keep up with that demand. So hope that helps. Leave me a comment. It's probably a discussion people will want to continue to have, but I think that's a good place to start.